Mike the Ref Maloney, Big Bad Boris on the call here tonight.
Let's go! Let go! Third! Let the Super Kick Party!
Yeah, pay the money for that. No one. And of course, you gotta get the coffin spin. Say hello to the bad guy. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Mike the Ref Twitch stream for a Wednesday night. We are back. It's been 6 days. It has been 6 days too long. Once again, everybody, thank you for being here. Always appreciate you. I'm hoping the new chat bot that I use to fix things up works. If not, we'll go back to the old one. But, yeah. After last week's headache, I decided to do a little bit of craziness. It looks like it works. It is a little different. It does show your logo on there as we go. So, yeah, it seems like it works. Good to see everybody in the chat here tonight. Just happy to have everything going on here. And, yeah. Oh, how do you feel? Zodiac, I got to ask you something right now. By the way, first of all, congratulations to the Florida Panthers. I'm honestly very happy that they won. I have been a bitter, I don't want to say completely ex, but might as well be ex-Oilers fan. Ever since they hired Stan Bowman as their GM, I pretty much given up on that team. But did you guys hear? Sasha Barkov, the captain of the Florida Panthers, at 5 a.m, was going around in his neighborhood, doorbell to doorbell to doorbell, ringing them and showing everybody the Stanley Cup at 5 a.m. I just reposted it on X, one of the videos from the door camera. What would you say if you were one of the people that got woken up at 5 a.m. by a crazy hockey player showing off his trophy? You're up at 5? All right, well, I guess we'll give you that. Normally my alarm goes off at 4:45, but I live in an apartment building, so if anybody's knocking on my door, it damn well better be serious. But my God, like, and these guys were totally trolling through the whole thing. Would a shotgun to beer with them? Maybe. I don't know. Like, just from what I've seen, I don't know if you, in the locker room, they were playing the Oilers win music, like what they play at the end of the Oilers games when they win the Pink Pony Club, after La Bamba for Joey. But yeah, just proof that the heels do win. I think that's the best way to put it. But yeah, I am very looking forward to tonight. The atmosphere, the overall feel of everything going on. Right now we're scheduled for 6 matches, but about 500 wrestlers involved. So I think the main event's probably going to be Mercedes and Zeuxis for the CMLL women's title. Did I see the CML? No, I saw a few of the highlights for the entrances and whatnot, but I haven't seen a whole lot of what was actually going on during the show itself. I heard it went over really well. And, like, the response from a lot of the people for the entrances was just insane. Yeah, Takesha was over, Fletcher was over, Hologram was over. Basically, everybody that walked in there was super over. And it's funny because, well, let's face it, we're dealing with that arms race right now with WWE and AEW, which, I'm sorry, All In Weekend just proved it's an arms race. But the fact that AEW is the first to get to Mexico, because remember, Worlds Collide was in LA, it wasn't in Mexico. AEW is the first one to get to Mexico. They're going to have a huge leg up here at this point. I think Mexico's going there next weekend. WWE's running their, I think they're doing Friday, Saturday, Sunday there. Thunder isn't on tonight's card for AEW. He's on the ROH card, yeah. Because they're going to have Global Wars, which was a staple for a very long time. I love how they're putting in the little graphics for Arena Mexico in there. And actually, the video is actually being updated based on a lot of the storylines going on. So just a quick note for everybody, if you do have your PVR set, make sure it is set for an extra half hour. Because tonight, AEW Grand Slam Mexico is an extra hour. Or half hour, sorry. So we're getting a WWE PLE length show. But yeah, make sure your PVRs are set up properly. Yeah, we're getting Mistico MJF. We're getting Zeuxis and Mercedes. We're getting Okada and Briscoe. And we're starting the night off with a promo. I guess this is an AEW show, so I guess you would do that. Listen to this crowd, like, seriously. They're not doing funny thirds tonight. Oh, did you guys see the interview with Tony Khan that came up today? Talking about how he never wants to be involved with in-ring ever again. He said that he got caught in a very bad situation last time and he never wants to be involved with that ever again. Yeah, MJF will have his US. He's already said he's doing that. He's pulling it out for one night. Look at this crowd. Seriously. One 3-letter word could get this crowd going over like crazy. It's about the Fed being open to buy. Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Persephone over it. Persephone put up a post today. If you don't know, Persephone was the actual tag team partner of is TKO. No, calm down. Persephone put up a post with a card that literally says, "Sorry, WWE, not for sale." It's where Thunder Rosa would be in the promo card. So it's sort of a slight shot at WWE at that point, because Persephone was supposed to defend the tag titles with Stephanie Vaquer at that point, like the last time that a U.S. brand got involved down in Mexico. I got nothing, guys. I'm sorry. I'm assuming Moxley comes out and speaks only in English because that's all he's going to do. Who knew Hangman spoke angry Spanish? He's a teacher, right? So Moxley getting the booze. Get booed out of the building. Hey, McCurdy, how you doing? I'm doing good. It's been an interesting day. Well, so Hangman's not allowed to be there. Why is he there to begin with? I love the fact that they can swear in Mexican, but they can't swear in English. They're not censoring cowboy shit in Mexican, that's for sure. Spanish, sorry. Spanish, my bad. Sorry, I'm an insensitive prick when it comes to some of this stuff sometimes. I try. I'm sorry. Oh, so they're doing the 10-man tag as the main event? Okay. Espanol even. Oh, no. I'm not worried. I know people that come in here and know me, know what's going on. The Death Riders and the Elite taking on the Opps, Swerve, and Ospreay. Like, that's borderline insane. Espanol comes from the Spanish name for Spain, España. I get the inflection in. I just can't, get everything in properly. Press, we got a bilingual cop. He's probably a Spanish teacher when he was in school. I'm a little upset about this 4 billion pesos high-flying match. If you actually translate that out in Canadian funds, that's about 288,000. That ain't a whole lot. I'm assuming we're starting with a 12-man tag. Hey, Michael, thank you for popping in already here tonight. Yeah, it went up to 14 now. Son of a biscuit. Let's just throw another Callus family member in here. I thought cowboys would need to be able to speak Spanish to go to traditional route. That's fair. That's fair. I'm still feeling nuts that we have, do we know where he lived when he was a teacher? If it was a southern state, he may have to Spanish students, so he had to learn the language. West Virginia. Or Virginia, which I've also learned that geography isn't my best either when it comes to directions. Did Cash lose his passport? Not the most southern states, but there's by fair enough. Gracias. I need to learn Spanish the way people who come in speak that. That in Portuguese with Albanian, yeah. Oh. So, for you, yeah. Looking at a map, south is down, east is right, west is left, north is up. That's a hell of a win there. So they got Voldemort to cover for Cash, who probably got arrested at the border. Then released because, you know, Ice wasn't there. I'm a geography. Oh, not in space. Honestly, when these two get serious and want to go after the tag titles, if there's a face tag team in charge, I think that would be absolutely amazing. Fun fact, Alaska is the most eastern and western state. Fair enough. Said on a map. Well, it could be a 3D map. It could be a 3D map, and that'd be all over the place, too. What about Star? There you go, Star Maps. I can tell you're already getting into that mode of ready to screw your neighbor all over the place when it comes to one type of 3D map as a globe. One type. Dax looks weird without Cash, yeah. No, it looks like you're fired up already, my friend. Now that I actually figure, not going to panic tonight and actually get everything set up properly. Alaska Island stretching out the eastern hemisphere, and while the rest of the state is mostly western state of the U.S. That's fair. Is anybody here picking up the Bandido mask? Anybody at all? Atlantis getting booed? Yeah, Jay Quick, I don't know which one it is. I'm guessing more likely he had some restrictions put on him with that Florida incident last year. The case got, I don't know whether it got settled or it got dropped. But even still, his passport might still be in. You know, something interesting will come over social media about it, so. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Oh, there's the ultimate face right there. Abolish ICE. You tell me that photo isn't going to go viral now. Oh. Brody King is the hero we never needed. We always never knew we needed. It's almost like a Jeff Hardy. Possibly. It's too early to speculate, Jay Quick. Let's not. As much as we could speculate and say how bad things there are and everything, let's just. He's not here. I'm sure social media will find out what the reason is. It's like everything else we do here, right? Like, I'm sure there's enough people that are going to speculate for us. The new Wrestling Network launched on Roku. I was watching it earlier with NWA and women. How was it, Jay Quick? Could hear. It's good? Good, I'm glad. I do have to say, I really do appreciate that when it comes to AEW, like we have a situation with Cash not being able to be here. It's not like they're short of people that they can put into the match, right? Even if they're in Mexico, they can use somebody from CMLL just in the same spot. It wouldn't surprise me, to be perfectly honest, if this legit Tony Khan knew about this for years or for weeks. Wait, Nigel's actually asking if this will get out of control or not. Let's face it, it's just plain old gonna get out of control. Now, you know it's going to be interesting when you have this many people in one match, and we get this twice tonight. Yeah, it's like, Nigel, yes, it will get out of control. And they're doing it traditional Mexican way. In Mexico, the partners actually stay outside of the ring. Until they get involved, they don't get up there so people can actually watch the match. Something I would appreciate a little bit more in North American wrestling. Northern North America. Sorry, I guess I have to qualify that here. You got to feel for a guy like Bandido. Like, he has been busting his ass nonstop here. Had some bad luck. Like, his return following injury, he got himself concussed. And we all know it was a self-concussion. You try and go for a dive and land head first on your first ever spot. Oh, ho, ho, ho. This crowd is going nuts right now, and I love every second of it. Hitchisara's like, nope, we ain't doing that. Reversal, reversal. Nope, no reversal. Oh, wow. And now you know it's traditional, an AEW match, because you got the next guy lining up on the rope, right? I like when wrestling's a little bit out of the norm. Oh, look at this. I thought he was going to pull his shorts down for a second there. That would have been interesting on national TV. But yeah, somebody do me a favor, repost Brody King's shirt every which way possible, 60 ways from Sunday. Oh. Oh, you hear this? I wonder what happened here. This whole crowd is not having it whatsoever for Atlantis. Sorry, having a whole bunch of... Hey, KJ, how you doing? Is Atlantis a heel here? I don't think so. Tony Khan can't be that deaf. Oh, before we get before the end of the night, remind me to show you the artwork I picked up this weekend from Gamescom here. I know three of the pictures I'll be able to show you. The other three, just because of the filter that I use on here, I might not be able to. I'll get them up on the Backbreaker Instagram. But yeah, thank you guys for your patience for me while I haven't been streaming the last week here. Ended up, I ended up going to Gamescom for the one day. The other two, I was just in holiday mode and just, by the time I got things going, it was already too late to get it going. And here comes Archer. Battle of the big boys. And then, yeah, last night I was having internet issues. I think it was from all the crying that the Oilers fans did in town. Oh, God. Alexander's dead. What are you talking about? This is an AEW ring, isn't it? Oh, no, they are using a CMLL ring with the AEW turnbuckles. What the hell is with this crowd? Everyone was in crisis. I don't know if crisis is a term. I think it's more just checking on each other, making sure they're okay. Because, yeah, that was not a good situation. Emotional crisis? No. All right, I would say last night, Oilers fans would have been in emotional crisis if there was a late goal. That was literally a spanking from the first minute to the last. As we hit our first picture in picture. No, that was just, you know when you're pulling your goalie with 7 minutes to go, and no, I'm not talking about the euphemism. You know it's bad. And I think, like, I know personally in my building, I was getting some videotaping done, but I was able to hear, you know, it was dead silent for the first period. A little bit more rumbling in the second, and then third, it just like nothing was going on, so. But yeah, just, no, I don't know what was going on. We're having some internet glitches, and I just, you know what? I'll save it for one more day. We'll come out here. I think based on what's been going on here with it, we're probably going to go back down to, like I'm able to do 2K streaming. I'll save that for the game exclusives. But during the sidecast, I think I'll go back up to 1080p because, you know, you don't need to see every zit on my face here. So, But no, how's everybody else doing here? We ended up getting some more arcade stories done while offline here, so you can check those out. A lot of them starting this weekend. Got some playthroughs starting next week. I'll talk about those later, but just try to get a lot of little things done. Got this new chat bot set up for you guys for tonight after the last one crashed last week. If you guys don't remember, halfway through the stream, I was having a panic attack because our chat wasn't working properly. But I think this one will work a little bit better, and it looks a lot cleaner. Until we get 400 people in here at once starting to chat, and all of a sudden it starts going flying. But what do you think so far about the aesthetics of Mexico? It looks beautiful in there. I can't remember what they have for attendance. I think it might be in the range of like 8,000, 9,000. One thing I do know is they sold it out quick. I love how Hitchicero was just upset that he doesn't get the pin off that. Even though I do think it's his finisher, and as we come back from picture in picture right now. But once again, everybody, as soon as we're done here, stick around. Vic from HPC Bad Guys, the Heels, Pops, and Chair Shots podcast. Backbreaker Gaming member PJC, as well as Zodiac here, will be joining me for a little WWE 2K25 My GM, which I should have the audio figured out this time. So I always think arenas in Mexico look incredible. Like the arena, yeah, like it's a beautiful view. I am a little bit disappointed that AEW showing the crowd the way they are, but just with the hard cam facing the back wall. I get why they do in Mexico, because the sponsors have the banners back there. Why are you showing off like that? Jesus. Oh, and by the way, AEW has been having the hard cam like that for a few weeks. Yeah, well, we'll make Daly's place look like natural. Yeah. Like, I get it. Like, and it also makes the company look different, right? By the way, for the record, tonight, got a new energy drink, Reese Fuel. I saw the Kool-Aid flavor, and I'm like, you know what? Why not? No sugar. Shit, Templario almost impaled himself there. Feels like no, not an energy drink. I don't blame you. I try not to be. I'm trying to cut back on them, but last couple of days I just need a little pick-me-up as we go here. But this is CMLL. This is the #1 Mexican promotion. AAA is sort of like drink and diet. Dude, does that count? Get way too fidgety. I don't mind. I got to be up a little bit after we're done. I do have the videos ready to go for the weekend, but after you're done streaming, you just can't get straight to bit. Has gin it? Always good to have a little bit of extra in your drinks. Look at that. Absolutely packed in there. Oh, okay, it's 10,000. According to CMLL, fans boo. Well, why did they boo? Why didn't they boo the rest of the baby faces? Now they're just barking. Jeez, these guys. This is your meat match right there. I could almost think of them maybe cheering bad guys because they hate it. They want to get booed. Are you freaking kidding me? Brody is not allowed to do a hurricanrana. Somebody strap a title on this kid. Somebody please just give him a title. Hockey fight! See, Dax is playing up exactly what I was saying there. You try and get a boo in there just, Lost in the woods for the 3. Lost in the woods for 3. Almost makes you wonder. You know it's bad when you got to take like a whole minute to explain who the winners are? I'm glad they're showing this promo now just to get it out of the way here. What do you guys think about Okada teaming up with Don Callus here of all people? I think it's sort of the conclusion of a huge, 7-year story? Hell, it goes all the way back to when Jericho came over to face Omega and basically sent New Japan on a stratospheric rise that I don't think we've ever seen before. And I don't think we'll ever see that kind of growth again out of the blue. My God, do they like to do an injury angle well, though? And if Omega's going to do what, he's going to do what completely over the top. And that little runoff scene, I didn't realize the significance of that. That running scene where Okada and Callus went into the van, that's the same van and the same act that happened when Omega did that against Jon Moxley when he became the belt collector. I didn't realize it until just recently that happened. So we're hitting our first full commercial break here as we're going to be getting Briscoe against Okada on our way back here. Basically, they're just saying that the story of this is basically Briscoe saying that Okada's my, or Omega's my friend, you hurt my friend. I think it's just to reward Briscoe for just such great work these last couple of years. And just, yeah, it's a fun time. Like, looking at this card tonight, like, everything seems to be flowing nicely right now. Everything's in a nice place here. It did feel weird about how they're booing Atlantis, because they didn't boo anybody else on that team. So I don't know. We'll have to see here, but while we got a split second here, I do want to wish my best to Liv Morgan. If you didn't hear, her separated shoulder from Monday apparently will require surgery. So all the big plans that they had for Liv are basically poof right now. I can't believe Kyrie had to actually go on socials and basically say, look, I'm not looking for an injury. I'm not looking to make fun of an injury or anything. It's just when she was in the ring while Liv was injured, she was just basically there trying to take the eyes off of the fans' eyes off of her and onto Kyrie for that point. And I applaud her for that. But regardless of all the circumstance, all the fodder around it, I wish nothing but a speedy recovery for Liv and her shoulder. And there's just so much insanity going on in this world. That's the last thing you need here. You just have to deal with injury, go through it as well. So, but yeah, in terms of big news this week, I think the other news that dropped down recently on socials is the fact that Mercedes and the Beast Mortos are an item, apparently. Congratulations, good honor. At least she'll have a good legal team if she ever gets into trouble. And you definitely know there won't be any problems with the prenup. Although never mind. I was going to say something about animal translation there, but that could just be taken right off course there completely. Well, let's not get completely off the rails this early in the night. We're only, 38 minutes in? So let's make sure we don't, completely fall off the rack here. Man, blue shorts Kenny Omega is weird. That's how he looked originally when he started out, right? So. I like that this is a bit of a grudge match. There's no tie on the line, so Okada technically could lose. Not that I expect him to, but oh, God, we got Callus out here now. He wasn't out here last match, though. Makes you wonder if, please don't have Callus on commentary. We're going to end up with some racist joke that's going to get AEW canceled. Oh, God. Now we got to deal with... As long as it's funny. A funny cancel? Well, maybe. Well, at least these matches are going to get an opportunity to breathe tonight, because what? We only got 6 matches scheduled in 2.5 hours? Oh, God. Well, he's trying to counter here, but I appreciate Callus doing the routine the way that he is and setting things up the way that he is. But, and in many ways, he is right. Like, he reminds me a lot of the Florida Panthers. They're not there to make you happy. They're there to win. It's sort of apropos with the most valuable player for the playoffs being a guy that literally killed a goalie and a half. Because I'm almost feeling that Stuart Skinner ended up getting concussed when Sam Bennett fell on him, but I digress. He just hides the symptoms a lot better. And we all know that he took out Stalock there in Toronto during the first round. Not that Toronto is going to win the cup. We all know that. That's sort of a given these days. Water's wet and the Maple Leafs lose in the playoffs. Oh my God, it worked. It finally worked, the crane kick. Speedball might be coming over here later and saying, what the hell are you doing to my move, my friend? But stiff shots here to the chest. Like, it is a very different match, and I think everybody, for the most part, is trying to keep things to the ring for tonight, for the most part, as we're going through this. Because you know that main event, they're pretty much going to be all around the building, right? I expect that match to last inside the ring maybe 2 minutes. I do laugh at the fact that Shivani is just non-stop after Callus, and Callus is giving him nothing. As long as you hear a posterior without the gas involved. Briscoe will kick Callus. We all wish he would do that. We wish Nigel would do that. Maybe in Mexico they have to get a license for each wrestler. And since Callus is notoriously cheap, he only wanted to get 1 license instead of 7. Okada just looking ever so menacing. Like they're building up both Okada. They're building Okada up to be a monster. Omega, they're trying to get him over as the young babyface here, but it just doesn't seem to. Well, we'll see what happens because having him as an underdog with the diverticulitis, it could be a story they tell, but I almost wonder, do you even need that story with these two? It's the fact that it's these two. Like, don't overthink it. You have two of the best wrestlers in the history of the business, period. Like, don't let revisionist history get in your way here on this. Kenny Omega, Kuzuchka Okada, I would consider at least in the top 5 of all time. In terms of revolutionizing the business altogether. If not top 5, they're definitely top 10. Like, as much as we don't want to put Hogan in there, you got to put Hogan on that list too. And the Bucks as well when it comes to tag team wrestling. If you don't put the Bucks, you put the Motor City Machine Guns. Either way, I'd be happy with that. Put that there, how you adopt tag team wrestling the way that it is in North America. A crazy one would be Chris Jericho, but honestly, I think that it was more a name than what he did that basically helped him revolutionize wrestling as, oh, goody. The NHL just announced that they're going to look at the Oilers for their use of Evander Kane and the use of LTIR. Gee, you're not going to piss off Oilers fans at all, are you? We'll probably end up losing like 3 draft picks and $10 million in cap space so they can find some way to get McDavid out of Edmonton next year. It really wouldn't surprise me to do that. Are they saying he's a goon? No. What they're saying is the Oilers faked their injury. And not the terribly online type. I'll just throw that there for you. No, the fact that he was on the injured list all until the playoffs. Like throughout the entire year. So technically his salary didn't count against the cap. And I think it's more the fact that Edmonton was being more blatantly obvious about it than any of the other teams were. I really don't know what they could do, right? The Lightning were... The Vegas Golden Knights were the originator of it because Mark Stone literally... Like, Mark Stone every year seemed to get injured right before the trade deadline. Aaron Ekblad for the Panthers this year magically got injured and 2 days... Or got suspended for PEDs. Ended up on LTIR for an injury. And mysteriously enough, Seth Jones got traded there just after he got put on LTIR. But the Jays are at least playing well right now. They got to keep a little more consistency in their game and get some wins together. Like, they are one of the hottest teams now, but they're going to have to keep it up because, well, the Yankees are yanking. The Red Sox are imploding, which... You know, we talk about the best thing for AEW is not getting their own way. I think that can apply to the Red Sox, too, and they're just failing at it. Yankees lost 6 in a row, but they're still, what, 3 up? They're still 3 or 4 up, my friends, so... Oh, 2 up. Okay. Still. NHL needs to get smart about that and say it doesn't count against the cap only if they're yeah, but they'll find some way to get around in Zodiac. I don't see them doing anything crazy like that because any rule like that has to be approved by the GMs. And how many GMs are going to go for that? Anyone that doesn't follow that. Bettman hates Canada? Yeah, well. The poor GMs will, but I think there's more GMs that'll take advantage of the situation than they will not. So that's why I think it'll never get voted through. It's July, long way to go in MLB, absolutely. Like, and I'll admit, I still play MLB The Show almost every day. I log in every day for my free packs. And we'll occasionally throw a stream of that in here, but let me smart to have this match keep Okada warm for Texas. Yeah. There, sorry, just wanted to. There we go. Yeah, we got her. Thanks, chat. That's the one thing about StreamerBot here. It any of the illegal bots, like Twitch is already timed them out. I got a block on it, but it'll still put it on stream. You notice they're in Mexico, so they don't have to zoom out. Only time you're allowed to spam. I'm surprised that, you know, if you really want to fake it, you can literally bite down on the finger with his middle tooth, which he doesn't have. No, thank you, Nats, for that. Help it out. Oh, Fightful just dropped another article here on their Patreon just quickly. Oh. Now it makes sense. All right. I'll get to the Hogan thing in just a minute here while we got a commercial break. But he's not dead. Even Eric, I don't know what Eric Bischoff's comment was, but Bubba the Love Sponge said he was in critical condition in hospital thanks to complications for spinal surgery. But for Cash Wheeler, it is actually a CMLL thing, the reason why he's not here. If you guys don't remember, FTR were the former AAA tag team champions. All right, Tombstone pile driver into the Rainmaker. We're done here. It was a good match. We'll get into Cash Wheeler here in just a second. But yeah, I didn't read I didn't read up about what happened with Hogan specifically yet. No, I know we were thinking that, Nats. I know we were talking about that, but it actually makes a lot of sense now. This whole crowd is cheering Omega. They're trying to play Okada's music to get him out of there. According to TMZ, Hogan was at a hospital, was released to walk. Yeah, like. You got to remember something. Bubba the Love Sponge and Hogan aren't exactly best of friends anymore, which sort of makes sense based on the way that he acts. Oh, and here comes MJF and Mistico, kids. As we hit the commercial break. All right, so with Cash Wheeler, he was a former AAA Tag Team Champion with Dax, which and they did change over the titles to Dragon Lee and what was it, Dragon Lee and his brother? And then subsequently the Dragon Lee ended up quitting AAA to go over to WWE. What year did Dragon Lee sign with WWE? Was that 23? That was before the CMLL deal with AEW, because AAA was pretty much open to everybody except New Japan. But yeah, apparently, like another one was the reason I bring this up is because the Beast Mortos is getting the opportunity to work today on, I believe it's the ROH show, or else it's the show that was last night. And his work as Taurus was not going to allow him to be on the show just because it's CMLL and AAA being, such hated enemies. It's like you even work for him and you're not getting nothing. But apparently Tony Khan has been putting out a lot of, please, can you let us do this? And he went right to the owner to ask about it. So that's why Beast Mortos is on the card today. And CML a lot more for. Well, here's the other thing though. CML wants to grow this relationship, so there is going to be a little bit of give and take there compared to AAA just got bought out, right? So basically whatever WWE tells them to do, they're going to do. It's not been official yet that the actual sales happen, but with that being said, it's going to be tight for that, right? So we'll have to see. Like, I know that Sean SRS, I think it's Nats that you don't really follow him a whole lot or trust him a whole lot. And it does leave some questions here about what's going to happen with the main event, because Claudio's scheduled to be in the main event tonight. And Claudio was a regular in AAA as well, but he was never champion, so that might be a little different. I wonder if that's the case or if there is something more to this. Well, MJF's got his red, white, blue Burberry out. I'm assuming that's why Roosh isn't on the card or Jalistico. Commander's injured. Commander's legit injured. He showed up last week to TV and tried to go. That's why he got replaced. That's why he got replaced that 6-man tag last week. MJF should have been about Brody. I believe it's a knee injury. I believe it's either a knee or a shoulder for Commander. Yeah, it sucks. Like, I wish him nothing but the best in recovery, but that's why they did the write-off angle the way they did, because he actually did go up at TV and wanted to be a part of it. Oh, God. He's got an Uncle Sam singlet on right now. I don't think they're booing Mistico. Chris Jericho, eat your heart out here. Chris Jericho, Adam Copeland. This is something special, folks. A Winnipeg Jets jersey in the middle of the crowd, too. What about Jericho and Copeland? Well, listen to this crowd. How they got their etchings all sung. That's where I was comparing it to there, Zodiac. Like, eat your heart out, Jericho. Look at, because of the crowds and how violent they can get, they literally have to put up rink boards on the entrance ramp so that nobody jumps the ropes. Even Bobby's impressed. Well, Bobby's never impressed. Sorry, Shelton's impressed. They're going to let the whole song run through. Damn. Mystico's got to get the win here, right? Like, do you give MJF the cheap win out of this? Use interference? I still say I'm with Zodiac about the Brody King thing. Get him out here. Didn't know they were rather apathetic about their flag touch. One thing I've noticed about Latin countries, and it even applies to Eastern European countries as well. Like, I am from the Ukraine. Like, I wasn't born there. My third level relatives have been there. So you're just naturally curious a little bit. When it comes to Latin American countries, when it comes to European countries and whatnot, it's more about the passion and less about the decorum. Like, there is no questioning the passion of Mexican people. If the flag hits the ground, so what? They're out there supporting a flag. It's more about what the flag means than what the flag is. Not saying they shouldn't worry about it. Like, I would make sure that it's up, but I know this could be a touchy-feely subject for a lot of people, but yeah, it's different culture. Like, it's not bad. It's not good. It's not bad. It's just there. Like, I'll take it on another topic and we'll just throw right out the world here. Oh God. Like back when I was ring announcing here, personally, I didn't have the suit. I didn't have the fancy suit. I didn't have like the aesthetics. I had the voice. And I wanted to make sure that the job was done properly. So I don't care as much about the prime and procedure. It's more about the final product than it is how it's presented. I pushed when I was the ring announcer to be in a position where I don't literally get into the ring at all. Just for something different as well. Well, so MJF has had what, 3 matches in Mexico before this? Or is this his first one? Well, at least MJF knows how to get heat. I get heat. I love that a tiaras in Mexico is basically an arm drag in America. I love how Rebsberg's yelling at Mistico to get out of the corner, even though it's MJF laying the boots down. I love MVP. He's like, you dumb shit, get back on him. Come off the ropes. Oh, look out. That backbreaker on knee, it's a new move that a lot of people haven't used. Like, you start noticing it here over the last couple of years. And in many ways, I think it's replaced the pile driver in many ways. Just because of how ruthless it is, right? As we go into another picture here. Yeah, there are a lot of different cultural norms mixed up here right now, and I love the crowd just hasn't stopped in this match. And it speaks a lot to Mystico's love in this crowd. And just seeing this experience, like... But it also has a lot to do with MJF, right? He is AEW's eternal heel. And you can't take away the fact that MJF has been involved in some of the greatest feuds in this company's history. Because what? We got to talk about, in that case, talk about CM Punk. Talk with Better Than You, Baby. Even though, let's face it, that one had one of the worst endings ever to a feud. You still got to consider how great of a story that was developing. Like, if you want to talk about some of the greatest feuds in AEW history, that would have to be on the list. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Wait for that coming out in a couple weeks here. But, when you're looking at, like MJF is just in a holding pattern right now, I think, pretty much until Hangman's done with Moxley, one way or the other. If Moxley keeps the title, yes, I think it'd be extra weird for that to happen, but I think you can still run an MJF Adam Page feud. The only difference is with that feud, you'd have to get MJF to end up winning it in the end. If Hangman wins the title, you could go either way with that. I almost would say that there'd be a possibility you could do a double flip with that title. Where MJF takes it off Hangman. Hangman gets it back off MJF. And I see more comments coming in about that entrance. I absolutely love it. Once again, everybody, thank you for being here. I do appreciate you. We are just over an hour into a 2.5 hour show here, and it's been a lot of fun so far. It's been interesting at times. Dealing with Bizarro World like we have been. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I do feel that oh my God, that was such a small hit. MVP still pissed. He's going to turn his back on it one too many times. He's going to get pinned out of this. It's just, it's the way it's lining up right now. There's a question for you, chat. The last 2 weeks we've been doing, and yes, I know that the subs are going, it's going to be sub exclusive here for the next minute and a half here, but as we're entering in back into our normal phase, quote unquote, what is the perfect time for a wrestling show? Is it the 2.5 hours? I'd assume 4 hours is way too long. But 2 hours might be a little short. But with AEW, I think 2.5 might be the perfect little mix here. Because that might get you a little extra time that you need to put on some other matches. Because I don't think every week we're going to get a 14 and a 10. And Mistico just like, yeah, I'll wait up here. Just get in place here before we go crazy here. Sorry, just catching up on some of the socials just in case something comes up here. But yeah, nothing. Okay. So, oh God. Mistico, I thought was going to ruin his knee there, but he comes out with that power slam. So, just throwing it out real quick here, I just saw the note from a couple articles I quickly read there. We were talking earlier about Jordan Grace's entrance music getting changed and the crowd just not having it. Straight up, it's just because WWE wants to own the theme song. The one that she used in TNA, Jordan actually owns. And WWE's just simply adamant about wanting their own themes put together. Which, let's face it, that sucks. All right, that sucked. I love the fact that it... No way. I love that they actually call it a Canadian Destroyer Mexico. Screw anybody else that says it any differently. It is a Canadian Destroyer. It always will be. It was born, bred, and made in Canada. I think a production guy just went up to MJF and said, hurry up. Oh, no. See, in Mexico, tombstone's actually not allowed. So, yeah, he made sure that he flopped down, right? Watch him flop right to his back here. Oh, is this going to be one of those... We're going to get to the count of 9. He's going to come in. Then he's going to get the R bar for the win. Oh, my God. The spirit of Sincada flowing through the veins. But now he's going to go with that salt of the earth. If he was smart, he would have done it already. And MVP's like, hurry the frick up. You should have had him already. Oh my God, he's going for the angle moonsault. Or is he going for the 450? Oh no. Oh no. Here we go. We're going to see one tonight. And of course, MJF crawls right up to the rope. I think he wasn't supposed to hook the leg there just for that. Oh, and there's the R bar, and MJF's tapping out like a... So this is where you're going to get your clean, dirty win. Okay. Now we're hamming it up. I can live with this. I can live with this. This ain't bad. not the worst handling of things. So well, there's your win. So MJF still doesn't win. Mistico gets the win. So who's going to come out here? We got to have somebody come out here and do a block. We might get started towards a... Is he going to do this again? Like, I know you're doing it in the States is like it's dastardly. But doing it in Mexico here? Like, there's no pissing around. All right, that was rather inconclusive. On the other half of the... Basically, the trios champs. That's a diplomatic way. That's fair. This might set up a tag at All In. That might be this might be the spot that sets the tag title match at All In. So they got a backup mask. That's... I really do hope that there's somebody back there to beat the crap out of MJF. So you only got, what, 2 matches left? Scheduled 2 matches left. Oh, no, 3 matches left. Never mind. The 1 million peso high-flying 4-way. So, question for you, chat. Have you done the conversion? I'm guessing most of us here are in North America, in the upper half, whether it be Canada or the States. Have you guys done the math on this? I did before we came on here. It's roughly $288,000. Which, don't get me wrong, if they want to give me that money, I do not mind one bit. But, yeah. It would be nice to... I'd like a bigger number personally. Tony Khan, you know, this is such a big show. Maybe make it a nice even 5 million pesos. Get like a, you know, nice 320, 330. I would like it to be a little bit bigger. Sorry, just noticing one of the streamers that I follow that usually runs at about 10 Mountain is starting at 7. I'm like, what the heck? But I guess there is some news coming down here on some fighting games and stuff, whatnot, so. But yeah, just... sorry, I keep getting dings all over the place here. But no, I think this is the last night where we really have to have a holding pattern about what we're doing here for... what we're doing for All In here in a few weeks. Because remember what? We got... 1, 2, 3.5 weeks until All In right now, right? So, yeah, this probably will be the last night where they, while they are including some of the feuds that are going on at All In, like they talked about Okada, Omega, they talked about Hangman Mox. I'm sure we're going to get a lot of talk about Tony and Mercedes during the Zeuxis Mercedes match. But all in all, you know, like they got to book a 12-13 match card coming up for that show. And right now, what we have maybe 3 matches booked for it so far. Like we're going to start getting into booking overdrive here in the next few weeks. And yes, Tony Khan is infamous for being late on his bookings, right? Like he'll wait until the very last moment to book 6 matches. Which really you can't blame him with a lot of the injuries that come down, because AEW is a lot more higher paced, I think is the best way to put it. A lot more adventurous when it comes to moves. Not as safe. And safe, I say, in a general thing, right? Because anybody can get injured anytime. But the fact that you don't want anybody injured going into your biggest show of the year. Oh, did you guys see how Ricochet decided to Ricochet finally had to walk back a tweet for once? What the heck? Next Thursday at 4 p.m. Mountain, 2 p.m. Eastern. Capcom's doing a 40-minute presentation about their they're doing a spotlight, so at least we know what we'll do in the afternoon next Thursday, so I don't know if you guys saw it today on X. It's just something that I find really funny. I put the post out about tonight's show, right? We had a few things going on here. I just wanted to get the ad out. Some guy came on and said, that's a hell of a lineup, and I love the mix of the streams, but it'd be great if you had this guy on there. He posted it and blocked me immediately, so I couldn't respond to it. So guess what I did? I instantly blocked him. Then I looked at him like, yeah, 0 followers, 0 followed. Yeah, it's a bot account. So I can imagine how many of those I actually have blocked right now. I really wonder how this is going to end here, because Hologram hasn't lost yet. I love how you have Excalibur turning around and saying, yeah, you had a Hologram who started his career independently. No, he didn't. The frick does... Which Bowser brother is that? Is that T-Zoc? I thought City of the Wolves was a WWE promotion. got to figure out which Bowser brother these guys are, specifically, just so I can name them properly. I think somebody in the back said Leo's entrance is taking too long. All right, this one, you can almost count how many high-flying moves they're going to have each match. This is going to be a little bit of insane here. I think the pace will be a little bit higher than what we saw last match. But yeah, Ricochet just everywhere he's like. Oh, if you didn't see earlier, Ricochet started doing his heel tweets about the Moxley lawsuit, the Moxley and AEW lawsuit by former ring hand. So Ricochet started to do his usual clapback. Ended up having to delete the tweet because, well, his company's in the middle of a lawsuit, right? So TK, I think, stepped in and said, yeah, please don't. I still feel this is one of the dumbest lawsuits in the world. I almost feel in some way that, you know, if it was held out this long, if Tony Khan would have known about it, I'm pretty sure he just would have said, look, I'll give you... He'll take care of your medical expenses. That's what he's done for most people. And it's not like he doesn't have a track record of helping people, right? This crowd giving him nothing. This crowd giving him absolutely nothing. That's hilarious. Ricochet didn't think he could go with both of them, so. Okay. Flying clothesline. Assisted drop kick. All right, now we're going to have some fun here. Ooh. That would suck. Just hitting the barricade the way that it did right there. Ow. I didn't realize they had a CMLL sign down the front row. Oh my God, they got an ad for Clamato juice on the ring on the pads. I didn't realize that. If you're not familiar, Clamato juice is the stuff that we use for Caesars here in Canada. Oh God, that knee said hello. Little slide drop. Oh, God. Kick to the face. Let's go. Are we, like, not going to get any top rope stuff until the very end? Because I don't see many people going high flying. I see them going medium flying. Ah, here we go. Why show that angle? It worked. There we go. Now we got some high flying. And some low flying from Leo. As we're going to get into Peak Shore in Peak Shore. No, crowd's been into it all night, which we sort of expected. Wonder what it's going to be like on Saturday for Seattle. Because remember, we're going back to Saturday nights for the first time in, what, 3 weeks? And just a quick note, odds are I'm going to start season 2 of my GM beginning after All In. Might wait till the 19th of July here just because we're going to get preempted a couple times here, so there's no real reason to get into it so quickly. Plus, I can wait for the DLC to drop, which we'll probably talk about when I get on here with Vic and Chris and PJC here in the second half of the show. This Saturday is actually going to be the 5-year affiliate anniversary for me, so after Collision, probably chat around for a little bit. We might still haven't figured out exactly if we're going to do any games or anything like that yet. Just want to see what you guys want to do more than anything else. I don't mind these streams where we sit back and we reminisce. We just talk about old times and, you know, times when things were good and times when things are a little crazy and a little bit stupid. And I remember when somebody used the onion skin as a belt wrap. We didn't call it a belt because we couldn't tie it up properly, and we always go down to the river to get the new onions because the old ones were all dried up in the middle of the farm. I do that way too well for some damn reason. As we go into commercial break. Jesus. Oh, thanks everybody for hanging out here tonight. I appreciate it. You know you're getting old when you start acting like you're going to turn into somebody old. So, yeah, exactly. Like what? I'll be turning 47 here, what, 2 months from now? 3 months from now? But yeah, we'll see what happens here Saturday. We might throw up some Fortnite maybe. We might throw up some Fall Guys. I rarely ever play Fall Guys, but I'd say Mario Kart, but, you know, we got to do, you know, everybody's going to Mario Kart World, and I'm too stubborn to pick up a Switch 2 right now when there's one new game that's available. Although I will say the DK presentation is pretty cool. I wish they wouldn't have spoiled the story about Pauline there. $211,000 American. It's only $288 Canadian, so we must be a lot closer than I thought. Oh, Leo going for the bald. right, bad guys going at it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's drop it. Let's move it. I ain't the one you got to deal with here. Come on now. I'd assume this is going to be a hologram win just because, you know, it's hologram. Unless they demand that they have the CMLL people win all their matches tonight. Which, let's face it, the nights that, or the matches that we've had, one CMLL person in the match, or one side, that CMLL person's won. Oh, Jesus. Ricochet selling like a boss. You know it's going to be borderline insane when these two start. Oh, God. Jesus. Hologram nearly kills Leo outside the ring. Yeah, and it's about 288,000 CAD. Yeah, no, the match was advertised as a 4 million peso match. I figured on Canadian it was 288,000. So yeah, 211 makes sense. But the way this economy is, I'd like to have it maybe like $250,000 US. Maybe 5 million pesos. Oh, and I got to talk to McGee. I heard that Dynamite has been scheduled for London, which is just outside of Toronto. Heard some people they had the WWF bots out complaining that the seats were too expensive. That sucked. Didn't get the tiara stuff the way he wanted. Standing splash fly out of nowhere. Reversal, reversal, reversal. Jesus. Ricochet not even give you the respect to get a 1 count. Well, Leo's there to get pinned. Dorada, Dorada. Beautiful windmill kick there. Jesus. A jumping stomp. Ricochet's so damn talented. And poison run out of nowhere. Oh, here we go. Oh, I thought he was going for the airplane spin. Ends up with the poison rana. Nope. Oh, second block. Jesus, Leo. Got it the third time. That's a nice combination there for Leo. I am happy that everybody's getting their stuff in. Oh my God, Ricochet just gave it a kill. You killed Leo, you bastard. Heel gonna kill heel? There is no way he's pulling a 630 out here. Are we gonna see a 630 here in Arena Mexico? That wouldn't surprise me. Ricochet's probably always wanted to do this. Nope, never mind. Ricochet's got such a damn hard head, I don't think he'd worry about that. Oh no. That's a little high vertigo there, if you ask me. Nope, Ricochet says nope. Oh, and that takes care of that. Remsburg didn't see it, but then saw it, sort of. May have saw it. Oh, go for that stunner. Uh-oh. Wow. Ricochet gets screwed again out of money. Seriously, they need to start giving Ricochet like a tin can, because he can't win that. He can't win that big match. Trying to. I need money. I can't win these matches. Now I wonder how this is gonna go. I legit worry about this, and we were talking about cultural differences here earlier. I know that the women of CMLL are respected, but how many of these people here in Mexico are going to treat this like a bathroom break? I really do wonder that. I hope they don't. I hope everything goes nuts for them. I hope everything turns out great. But there might be a possibility that it's a bathroom break for these guys. And just culturally, like, I haven't watched enough to actually justify what I'm going to think about this, but it's the first thing that always runs through my head whenever it comes to this, because I know that there are a few, like when you go to Europe, it's a little different, especially when they're using their own, like wrestlers from their own area. But like in Japan, like many of the wrestlers, a ladies' match is treated like a bathroom break for years. Tradition stated, don't use it. Let's face it, that would be a big of a culture. True. I think there's a little bit more coming out to it when I say North America, I mean US and Canada. I think there's been a lot more progression there than there is, well, frankly, I think Europe is probably the one that's most ahead when it comes to stuff like that. But yeah, when it comes to the rest of the world, we are a little behind the times. And I just hope it translates better on camera than it might do in the building, which, well, let's face it, AEW's production is very hit and miss to begin with, so. But yeah, just watching everything go through here, it's been a good show. The crowd's been into it the whole time here, so. In that respect, they haven't given me much to miss out on, but how much did they run before the show? And how many more matches are they running after? Because I can't remember what time zone this is. Let me quickly look at it here. Oh, they're on my time zone. So yeah, they probably ran a show. They probably ran half of Ring of Honor before, and then they'll do most of it after. When they did the show here at Edmonton, they ran Ring of Honor after all their matches back to back to back to back. I wonder if Tony Storm will be here tonight. It wouldn't surprise me. Oh my God, Mercedes in the sombrero. Now that new title that she won, that looks actually a lot bigger than the strong title. But could you imagine 5 belts? I think Zeuxis wins this somehow. This could be like a non-finish kind of thing too. Tremendo promo de El Hangman Page para empezar esta noche de AEW Dynamite. Hey, Vic. Gracias. Agreed. Shout out to Excalibur for trying to help us translate throughout that whole thing. How you doing tonight, Vic? I got the accent. I don't know the language. I took a little bit of French in high school and junior high. I ended up getting lost in Mexico. But we were talking about it earlier. I think personally that Hangman might be like one of those classes. He might have taught Spanish in. He could have taught Spanish when he was in Virginia too. Zeuxis not holding up whatsoever. I'm doing good. Like, it's been a interesting couple days. We had some internet issues. I wasn't getting a good signal all the way across yesterday, so I canceled stream. I ended up recording 3 arcade stories for the YouTube channel. Ended up fearing that the Oilers are in about the same shape as the Knicks are right now. The only difference is everybody wants to fire the coach right now. Aubrey throwing out the Spanish. I love it. Other than that, just trying to get a few things figured out and wow. That is impressive right there. These scripted sports, I tell you. No, like, there's been a lot of speculation, a lot of things going on. The biggest stories of the week. Like, tonight's been a very good night for wrestling. This crowd's been going nuts. You can tell how over that Mercedes is, or not Mercedes, Mistico was when he got the Jericho Copeland entrance. Brody King gets the MVP of the night with the Abolish Ice t-shirt. Yeah, that 14 man, like, absolute. Got to rewatch it. If you watch it and you watch classic 80s wrestling, you'll understand what happens near the end. Because they totally went early 80s WWF for the finish. Can we not do politics, man? Yeah, like. All right, Zoya, fair enough. So getting into our second segment here of this match. Cameraman! Well, honestly, with the outfits that we got going on here, it feels... It almost feels like between both these ladies, there ain't much way to hide that. But yeah, these ladies are going crazy. They certainly are tight. Yeah, well, tight's one way to put it. But yeah, that's another thing, like, characteristically. And yeah, I'm just glad they're getting a decent amount of time and they're getting a decent spot right now, right? Because that is the most diplomatic way to put it. Like, we were getting into it a little bit earlier here with some of the stuff we were chatting, but yeah. Women's wrestling is portrayed different down there. That's for sure. Well, with Mercedes, every time you have a dive spot, it is scary. Remember the Scorpion? My God. Zeuxis with a scoop power slam through the ropes. And it was, speaking of a word we've used already, it's tight. That was nice. Just how it went through there. But yeah, I wonder how this is going to go. Because I would think if there's going to be any match that goes to that non-finish finish, it would have been this one more than anything else. But it could be interesting. They could pull that fifth title on the Mercedes. Or that fourth title at this point. The only problem is she eventually has to lose all these titles, which makes you wonder how they're going to do that in some ways, right? Like, hell, she's got what? 2 titles already that she has to lose. One that will be given up next year. Now, I don't know if you saw the interview with Richard Chino and Athena this week, or that just came out today. Apparently, Athena's pretty bummed that she's not scheduled for Texas yet. I still think it's early. I still think she's going to get involved somewhere here. It wouldn't even surprise me if she gets involved in a match with Mercedes and all of a sudden Mercedes works twice. Where Athena ends up winning the TBS title earlier in the show. Oh, Mercedes looks like she got knocked out. Yeah, Athena is from Texas. She was out there promoting All in that initial press conference. The 4 people they had there were they had Mercedes, they had Hangman Page, they had Bryan Danielson, they had Athena. Those were the 4 people, and then Sting came in later on in that initial press conference to show off that they're doing All In Texas. They still need fillers, to which should probably come. Yeah, that's what we were saying earlier. Like, we have 3.5 weeks, and everything sort of turns back to normal starting on Saturday. So we're probably going to start filling up those spots rather quickly here. Like, I'm assuming we're going to get Speedball and Kevin Knight versus the Hurt Syndicate. MJF, I don't know if he gets another match, as he's probably waiting for Hangman Page to be done with Moxley. I'm actually very impressed. This crowd is still into it here. Oh no. Oh, Mercedes reversed it. Wow. Wow. While I did expect it, I didn't expect it. Is that a way to put it, chat? I expected this to happen, but I didn't expect it, really. I thought it was going to be another one of those political finishes. That was really out of nowhere. Just means Mone gets a chance to work out here. Kenny Omega, eat your heart out. You want to talk about the belt collector? So many titles she can't even carry them all. Jesus. Oh, and Zeuxis is hurt. No, here comes. Wow. Well, there's Mina. Oh my God. Tony Storm is Carmen Sandiego. Oh God, that look is priceless right there. As the titles go flying off a German. I need to get back in the Carmen Sandiego game now that's released. Luther's got a microphone and just walking away. Just a random fan, let's just, you know. a random fan she jumps right in the arms of a random fan. Now, that guy's got interviews for life right now. Yeah, the only thing I worry about when they start stockpiling these titles is what happens when you start unloading all of them. Like, Mercedes is going to have to go on a... All right, well, we're going to be playing some mind games here for the next 3.5 weeks. As we go to commercial break here, this is going to be a fun 3.5 weeks dealing with these two going back and forth. Like, Mercedes is starting to hit her promo stride after initially being absolutely horrible, having to come up with the stuff on her own. But watching what's going to happen here, this is really going to define a lot. And this might define a lot between two companies. Let's just call a spade there in that case, from some of the stuff I've heard about Tuesday, but I digress. But you know what? This is before the main event. I got to get back in this routine because it's been a while. Because it is right before the main event, I do give you guys a rundown what's going to be coming up in the next week. Right after we're done here, for those watching on YouTube, please make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you give it a subscribe. Babosa! But right after we're done here, we're going to get into some MyGM online. You see Zodiac in the chat. You see HPC Bad Guys in the chat. You see PJC will be here. I've contacted him. He will be here joining us as well. Tomorrow morning, new game. Thanks to Limited Run Games. Let's see if it works. River City Girls 2. I wanted something that was a little lighter, a little more funnier. Because we've been doing some damn serious games for our role-playing games going through, so. And then coming up on Saturday, no stream Friday, Saturday, we'll be here with AEW Collision, finally. It's been forever. After Collision, though, we are going to, well, let's play it by ear. If you guys have anything interesting you want to play in, let me know. Otherwise, it's my 5-year affiliate anniversary. I've been streaming here for doing gaming for just over 5 years now. So, or I guess coming up to 5 years. They're coming up this Saturday. So we're going to reminisce. We're going to go back. We're going to talk about some of the good times, bad times, talk about the state of everything going on, about everything going forward. And speak of PJC, say his name and he appears. I believe in PJC. Things are going good tonight. Sunday will be TBA. Tuesday, I want to get back into Tuesday night fights. I believe that Andy Bogard comes out on Tuesday for City of the Wolves. So if that's the case, we will fire that up and see how that goes. And then Wednesday, we'll be back here with Dynamite. So once again, everybody, thank you for being here. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you're on YouTube. Make sure you hit the like. Those on Twitch, make sure you follow. If you really like what you see, consider subscribing. You got one Prime sub that's free every month. And no matter whether you're lurking, whether you're chatting, whether you're just hanging out, it's always appreciated. Whether you're watching live or you're watching on demand. As we get right into our main event. Tonight's been interesting. We had a crazy 14-man match to start. We have people in the crowd with Jets jerseys on. Winnipeg Jets. Which still shocks the hell out of me, but I digress. MJF Mistico is your classic 80s WWF. Let's kick him in the balls to get a DQ finish. Mercedes Mone just won the CMLL World Championship. So now she's 5 or 6 belts Mone. It's hard to keep track sometimes. Okada beat Briscoe pretty much the way you expect it. It was a decent match, not overly. Briscoe's at one level above Jobber that we talk about. And then, yeah, we got the 10-man tag, not to be confused with the 14-man tag coming up. Okay, so we got that. Yeah, I think we covered everything tonight. And yeah, Ospreay wearing the bandages after last week's attack for the Bucks. But yeah, things are going good. We're going to get about 20 minutes here of Arena Mexico for the main event. Samoa Joe is he's like the cat that ate the canary right now. The fact that he is going to be so over here. But I wonder, is Claudio going to be out here tonight? Because just like what SRS was saying about the Beast Mortos being able to work here, just because Tony Khan begged the owner of CMLL to let him be here because of his affiliation with AAA before. The hell is Swerve? What is Nana wearing? I never knew tacos were so light that, you know. Great to see Nana decide to wear pants tonight. Jesus. And on top of that, you can't even get pants that fit. Pants are falling off. Now that the camera's off him, now he can pull his pants up a little bit. So yeah, we are setting up for that Ultimate Dream Team tag team. Swerve and Ospreay versus the Bucks. I think there's no way that we're not going to get that. And I think that might be the smartest move, put those guys together. Like, if you want some of the best matches, and if you're not going to have Ospreay in your main event. Okay, that's what they were talking about. Okay, so this is what SRS was talking about. Claudio had travel issues. Yeah, the promoter of CMLL said, go away. You pick AAA over CMLL, you're not working here. Like, straight up, that's what ended up happening. That's why Cash wasn't here. Which I'm surprised that Dax wasn't here either. Or Dax was here. But really, when it comes to all these travel issues and that, you really can't 100% confirm anything from anyone. Well, I can tell it's cold in the building. I'll just leave it at that. It is Arena Mexico, so things are a little bit more loose and free. Thoughts on Mone winning number 6? I was surprised. Surprised yet not surprised the fact that the CMLL title will be featured at All In. The only thing I'm worried about is Mone losing these titles. Like, yes, she's going to win a lot of them. But does she lose? When does she lose all of them? She can't just carry all of them forever, right? And if Toni Storm retains, the value of those titles, Marina always showing nips, free the nipple. Hey, there you go. That's what I was saying. It was rather cold in here tonight, so. And yeah, Zodiac, the lawyer Mortos. Mortos has had two major announcements this week. One that he I don't care what haters say. Mercedes Moné winning 6 championships is a huge deal, and I'm happy for. Absolutely. No, I'm not. Sorry, Logan. I don't. I'm not a hater. I was just shocked that she won it, but it is a huge deal. The fact that the CMLL title is going to be used at All In. It's going to be a part of it. It's going to be represented. The biggest thing for me is I'm going to worry about how they're going to get rid of all those titles. But that's something to worry about later, not sooner. So yeah, this main event, they have literally one guy who used to work here in this building. Which actually seems somewhat apropos at times. Mortos taking Ospreay apart. Yeah, she's the first to wrestle at Arena Mexico, Wembley, MSG, and the Tokyo Dome. Yeah, regardless if she she is making history. And I do honestly feel like she will be the main event of All In. And very well could be the highlight of the entire weekend. We don't know. The main event could end up being Goldberg winning a world title. It could be I'm a little worried about Evolution now with the fact that Raquel can't defend the tag title. Wouldn't be surprised if she wins numbers. I wouldn't be either. But I do wonder, and for me, it's a good problem to have, but what kind of losing streak is she going to have to go on to lose all those titles? I get it. Tony Khan is a big fan of boxing, and Mercedes just looks like when the boxers came out with the WBF, the IBF, the IBA, the BBC, the BQA, the ABC, DEF, GHI. She's going to be like whack-a-mole. You're going to have to keep the gang knocked down. Yeah, when she loses her first title, it'll be a big deal. But in many ways, it will be a lot of diminishing returns. And that's the part that worries me. It's not the fact that, she will put on a good match. But for me, it's a feeling that it will be a lot of diminishing returns for every title that she loses. Granted, you put the smaller titles, her losing to someone. You can talk about losing focus, but yeah, I get it. I feel like a lot of women in those matches will be multiple matches. She won't get pinned at all, but losing. I really don't know if she surrenders them. Like, if you surrender them, it almost makes the titles feel irrelevant in some way. Or the other way, like if you think about the other way, if she surrenders them when she gets the AEW Women's World Title. Sorry, Joe's to the ring. Everybody take notice. Joe not going for the senton anymore. Joe comes in, does a minute worth of work, and is the most over guy in the match. But yeah, if she surrenders them all, like, I get it, but it's just more that it's more you got to build up again, right? And the reputation of the title, if you surrender them rather than lose them, all that collateral you have by beating the champion is just lost. Like, it's another thing I worry about. It's the same thing that happened with Samoa Joe when he dropped the TV title because he wanted to work for the AEW title. Yeah, it wouldn't be a good look if it gave it up, but I think it's going to be a bad look regardless when she starts losing it. But one thing I will say, one thing I am happy about, I'm not going to say Tony Khan's a perfect booker. Far from it. Like, there's been some absolute horrendous mistakes. But knowing now what we could have known back then for some of this stuff, Tony Khan is a lot better booker than a lot of people give him credit for. Like, let's face it, I think the biggest misnomer that everybody's brought up, I still think it was a bad call, but I understand the reasoning why. Having Mercedes and Blair Monroe's final match against each other not be the main event of Revolution. It was just a bad mix of coincidences that match was so hot. The rivalry was so hot. But the main event ended up being as crappy as it was. But based on the fact that Mariah May was already said that she's not renewing her contract, why would you? Why would you put that as a main event? You're highlighting a main event player for the other team because, well, let's face it. Mariah was only going one of two places after her contract ran out. She was either re-signing or going to WWE. It still sucks as a fan that, you know, the best storyline of the bunch didn't get main event spot. But it's sort of understanding now based on everything we've seen as to why they did it. So for that, I give Tony Khan a conditional pass. Because apparently you could throw all the way of the world at May, and she just wasn't going to have it. Not saying she wouldn't come back, but... And now we're going to see a little sink or swim over on NXT. TK's mostly done playing nice, I think, yeah. And there was a lot of talk today about, well, talk yesterday about Britt being on a beach. Like, Britt put that post on Instagram about being on a beach. And everybody's like, oh, Jonathan Coachman's, oh, she's going to WWE. She's about to sign there, blah, 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 blah. And yeah, everybody's like, no, she signed through 2020, a good part of 2026. She ain't going nowhere. Plus injury time, which could probably add an extra 4 years to that contract. If not 4, at least 2. Whether he does that or not. Yeah, I think TK, for the most part, like you said, he's done playing nice, but he's being smart. And I'm really enjoying the I'm really enjoying the stories that he's going through right now. He is going through a bit of an uprise here in terms of overall stories. If anything, she'd go to TNA. They don't mind gambling on cancers. Fair. It almost, like, and Nick, you could talk about this better than I can. I know you do a great coverage of those shows as well, with a sidecast as well. It's very hit or miss when they do it. Like, it's almost one step forward, three steps forward, one step back for that company when it comes to those signings like that. Like, even with TNA coming out with a "She's a Racist" shirt for Tessa. Like, come on, guys. What are you doing? Is it funny that we're sitting here talking about Mercedes and the women's division and everything with that, with our world champion in a match right now, because we just know we're waiting for... So that they're bringing in Mark Madden in to do commentary. Like, what? Well, I think it's more the fact that they want to get that quick nostalgia pop. They slowly move Tessa out of the spotlight, so I hope she's not around. But they'll probably fulfill her contract duties and pay her out. And it did work out the way they wanted it to, and just move on, right? I honestly feel that that Tessa went there because of a heat check for WWE. It almost feels like they were looking to get her back in there. Nostalgia Pop, he's literally the shittiest commentator in wrestling history. I don't think there's one fan out there. Here's the thing. Ospreay, what are you doing? Like, just fucking tag already. We already know you're getting the hot tag. I believe they're doing Pittsburgh, and that's where Madden's from. He's got a radio show there, so you got to remember, a big pop for TNA is a medium pop in most places. Yeah, I love TNA, but not for that. She's a great wrestler in ring, but I can't stand her. And I get it. Like, you're not going to get along with every personality that you have around. No God. This looks like me when I'm in the ring in 2K25, where the Bucks just slapped him there. Hobbs like, really? You guys are dumb. And here comes the chop block. Nope. And Moxley comes in to break it up. You gotta love it when there's like you need a fourth guy to break up Hobbs here. They're making him look like an absolute monster. Hobbs doesn't get injured. He's a future world champion. Hobbs doesn't get injured. He becomes a future world champion. This crowd just will not deny him in so many ways. And he looks like a championship wrestler. All right, here we go. And of course, we're going to get to overtime here. Could Mortos get the win? Like, he has gotten such great news this week. Oh my God. These two look like twins. So crowd's all into this. Oh geez. What a shot. Oh no. Ospreay taking the bullet again. That's one way to counter it. Oscutters. Swerve with the Fosbury flop. Are they going to give Shibata the win? Could you imagine them giving Wheeler Yuta the win in Mexico City? I'm assuming they're chanting, "This is awesome." That would be crazy. Nats, I would be able to call Wheeler useless anymore. All right, a little Red Dragon action there. Rise of the Dragon. Oh no. Moxley steals the win. Oh my. Marina doing her job. Getting that little interference spot in there. Rick Knox being an idiot as always. And now we're just going to get chaos coming out. Hangman's got to come out to finish this. Oh, these kicks are horrible. You know, it's the whole pyro and everything's got to go off for Hangman, right? Man, that is a quick run to get in the building. And everybody just beels out of there. Except for Swerve. I love that shirt, by the way. You really want to throw him over the top like that? Oh, oh, buckshot to Nick. Yeah, and everybody's walking in as Moxley's bringing the briefcase. Yeah, maybe not. Just be smart. Get out of there. You don't care about the Bucks. He's going to... Oh, wait. Ooh, what's this going to be? Guys, can I throw a crazy thought out here? Let's say, let's throw a couple hypotheticals here. Let's say Hangman wins the world title. Let's say Omega wins the United title, the brand new title form from the International and the Continental, which, by the way, if you didn't hear, WWE took a patent out on the word Intercontinental in terms of titles in entertainment. So that is why they cannot call it the Intercontinental title in AEW. But I'm going to make this quick. What is the possibility of them using Okada as the first challenger for Hangman? For the fact that the Bucks said that they wanted Hangman to bring that title back to the Elite. And since he won't, they'll send Okada to do it. Okada Hangman is your first match that you get with major title implications. I think that is money in every sense of the word. But yeah, all in all tonight, like a good show. Fans were into it all over the place. Matches were really exciting. In terms of the highlight of the night, you might have to go to the first match. Having Mercedes win another title, absolutely great sign. It adds some extra stakes to the big match here coming up at All In, which I still feel right now odds are the women's title match will be the main event. Depends how they get this story going, because Lord knows they got ways to get both stories going here at the High Gear. But we'll see here how things go. But yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up here for the first half of the show. For those on YouTube, we're going to be wrapping up completely on your end here. So make sure you give a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Next time we're going to be back live on YouTube is this Saturday with AEW Collision. So we're finally getting back in our routine again. Things back to normal for a few weeks until... I think until All In, actually. So I don't think, yeah, the only thing is they're doing Night of Champions during the day, so AEW won't have to change anything. Yeah, so I think the next time we're going to be interrupted is going to be All In Texas. So yeah, we'll be back on Saturday for that. And yeah, I guess I'll send you guys off, and then we'll throw it to break here for our Twitch friends as we get things ready for WWE 2K25 here. So once again, everybody on YouTube, thank you for joining us here. The link is in the pinned comment if you want. But until next time, always remember, I can't think of anything snappy today. Make sure all your titles are multiple. Sure, we'll go with that. Have a great night, guys and girls, and we will see you all on Saturday. Take care.